when Star Wars ruled the world.
When Star Wars first came out, it made a major impact in America.
Star Wars was the highest grossing film of all time.
Star Wars suddenly seeped into every aspect of our culture. It was everywhere, man. You couldn't escape it.
New C-3PO cereal from Kellogg's.
Dramatic Star Wars drapes.
Look, Skywalker, go along with this or I'll cut you in half.
Look, it's the princess.
Hey, it's Luke Skywalker.
And the princess.
Gee.
It's Kenner's new Star Wars action figures, each sold separately.
I got you now, Ben Kenobi.
I had every action figure that was ever made.
Instead of going out and playing football anymore, it was sitting inside playing with the action figures.
Han Solo's figure looked nothing like Han Solo.
I thought it was purposefully done in case they decided to replace me.
Actually, that action figure is in much better shape than I am.
You only knew it was Luke because A had a lightsaber that came out of his hand.
My eldest son, Nathan, went over to these other kids that were playing, and he held up a Luke, and he goes, "This is my dad." They all went, "Yeah, right."
There was no way to assimilate it. It made the character of Princess Leia famous, and I looked like her, and so it made your life completely different.
My anonymity was gone like that.
We had never seen a film generate that kind of interest ever, and we knew there'd be a sequel.
There was a certain sigh of relief as Star Wars became popular enough to make Empire Strikes Back, and for us it was, oh boy, it'll be fun to see the gang again.
There was a little bit more pressure.
I was looking forward to it, and I suddenly thought, oh dear, this is going to be Star Wars 2, and it's not going to be as good.
And there was a certain anxiety that, you know, there's no way we're going to be able to do anything but disappoint people. And we all had doubts. You know, how can we top it?
I saw The Empire Strikes Back on opening day.
May 22nd, 1980. I waited in line for that. I wanted to be the first one to see it.
Empire Strikes Back was deeper and darker.
It was a good, hard-hitting story. It was very much the second act of a three-act play because everybody had problems. Everybody was in deep trouble.
One of the best sequences in that movie is the first appearance of the AT-ATs, also known as the Snow Walkers. There's that quiet, you know, and suddenly in the distance you see these things that look like elephants, big metal elephants.
I remember shooting footage of an elephant, Margie the elephant, just to get footage to study as how legs moved, a sense of weight. And the walkers and all that was challenging. We did all kinds of tricks. If there's bad animation in the walkers, if a pop happened, we'd put a laser hitting it instead of reshooting it. It was quite an elaborate setup.
And that was far more impressive than the Death Star.
All I gotta do is find this Yoda, if he even exists.
Well, when I read about Yoda in the script, I was wondering how they were going to do it. I mean, he was supposed to be a more awesome Jedi than Obi-Wan.
Yoda was an 800-year-old, brilliant, empowered creature.
We were worried that, that a puppet would look like a puppet and not be real enough.
You don't want to see Yoda as a puppet. The character has to transcend what it is.
Frank Oz and the Puppeteers really brought that character to life, you know. Hats off to those guys who decided, like, I know, let's just make him talk like an idiot, you know, and give him Frank Oz's voice, but make him the smartest man in the movie.
I asked George if I could push that syntax more, what people call the backward talk.
I'm looking for someone.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
Everybody started talking backwards.
Money I owe you? To the commissary you are going?
I don't sense it's backwards, and I don't think Yoda believes it's backwards. It's formal, because he's really kind of upholding the past and what Jedis were then.
Through the Force, things you will see, other places, the future, the past, old friends long gone. Han? Leia!
Scoundrel. I like the sound of that.
Stop that.
Stop what?
That whole movie, it just builds up to it. And you're just, come on, just kiss her, just kiss her.
And he's looking at her, wondering, would I like to go to bed with her? Because if he isn't thinking that, he's not Han Solo.
I happen to like nice men.
Nice man.
Very like.
That was the equivalent of watching porn when I was a child. And then, you know, C-3PO showed up and totally blocked the whole affair. But,
Sir, I've isolated the reverse power flux coupling.
Because if there is one area that 3PO is slightly deficient in, it is in the bedroom.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're perfectly welcome, sir.
Lando's system?
Lando's not a system, he's a man.
He's just a guy in space doing his thing.
Hello, what have we here?
I like the fact that he looks at Princess Leia and says, ooh, I think I'd like a little bit of that.
people don't give credit to Lando Calrissian for playing all the angles.
I had no choice. They arrived right before you did. I'm sorry.
Kids would run up to me and say, you betrayed Han Solo. And I'd find myself, trying to explain. And they forget that Lando really was in a dilemma.
What's going on, buddy? You're being put into carbon freeze.
My favorite moment in Empire Strikes Back is when Han Solo is about to be frozen in carbonite, and Princess Leia says, I love you.
And we shot it. I love you. I love you too.
I thought it was a wasted opportunity for character and for humor.
I love you too. That's not Han Solo. To repeat what his girl would say.
So I suggested to Kirsch that we change the line.
I love you.
I know.
And like a pimp, he just says, I know.
It just kicks you in the gut because we lose. Harrison gets turned into a coffee table. It's so unexpected.
Coming up, who's your daddy?
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
It's like one of the great all-time shockers in movies.
And later, that's a wrap.
It was a major part of my life. I feel very fortunate to have been a part of that.
I began to hear people saying, may the Force be with you.
If you'll pardon my stealing a film line, the Force is with us.
Give me a break.
Next on When Star Wars Ruled the World.